Before you embark on this part of the testimony, 7 years in hell, be sure to look up the previous parts to understand fully the powerful and supernatural journey. Then I became extremely violent as the devil left me. I started shouting, "Chameleon, leave me alone. Daniela, leave me alone. Leave me." This was Chameleon and his wife who were trying to hold me and prevent me from leaving. With my eyes closed, I kept fighting and trying to break loose from their grip. My eyes were closed, I had vomited, and I was fighting. I was smearing everyone with vomit. At this point, my uncle requested his wife to go and serve my grandfather with dinner. He had come from the village for treatment in Kampala City. As my uncle's wife headed to the living room to get water from the fridge, my uncle felt prompted by the Holy Spirit to call her back to help me in deliverance. He told her to throw her arms around me and hold me very tightly and begin to call my name at the top of her lungs. Then my aunt and uncle held me and his wife between them very tightly, started calling fire at the top of their lungs. As they started calling fire, this fire surfaced underneath the glass box, and the more they shouted, the more intense it became. Then the fire started lifting the glass box from the ground upwards. Suddenly the glass burst and the chains that were on my feet and hands fell off. I found myself breaking loose from Chameleon and his wife who were guarding the glass. I found myself floating in the air and I didn't know where I was going or which direction to take. Then I heard loud voices calling me and I decided to follow the direction of the voices with Michael the Archangel leading me. He told me to go into the house and that I would find my body in the house. When I got back into my body, it was like a shock. All of a sudden, I jumped up like somebody who had been woken up violently from a deep sleep. My eyes were wide open, and I started asking, "Where am I? Which place is this? This place is so clean. This house is so beautiful. Who are these people? What are they doing here?" It seemed like I had never been to or seen my uncle's house or his wife, yet I was a flower girl at my uncle's wedding. I was extremely confused. I started asking for my parents. Where is my mother? Where is my dad? I was stolen from them 7 years ago, and they never bothered to look for me. I hate them. They are very bad people. I have been suffering, being tortured day and night. I have been rolling on the mountain Lucifer and his agents were punishing me every day. I have been using my tongue to lick and clean the feet of Lucifer. When I woke up, I was confused. First of all, the environment at my uncle's house was cool. The air was breathable, which is a sharp contrast from the conditions in the underworld, because in hell, the environment is unbearably hot and uncle's place was very cool, so I was so surprised that even the walls were clean. The walls in hell are filthy. Hell in comparison to uncle's house were like two different worlds. Furthermore, when I was abducted by the devil and my soul was taken down to the world of hell, my body had been growing for 7 years. So by the time my soul came back to my body, I was puzzled, because I was under the assumption that I was a little girl of about 11 years old, only to come back and find myself being this 18-year-old young lady. Who are these people? What are they doing here? I asked aloud. It was like I had never been to or seen my uncle's house or his wife, and yet I was a bridesmaid at their wedding. I had never seen their son. I was extremely confused. I started asking for my parents. I was stolen from them 7 years ago and they never bothered to look for me. I hated that I felt that they were very bad people. I had been suffering, being tortured day and night. I've been rolling on the mountain the devil and his agents were punishing me every day. I have been using my tongue to clean Lucifer's feet, I exclaimed. Satan's feet are like the feet of a bear when he's in the form of a beast with 7 heads. He would only appear to a few people in the form of a beast, and these people were at very high levels of sorcery. I remember that as far as Uganda was represented before Satan, there were only 3 of us. One was only 4 years old, while the other was very old. He was so old that his gray beards were flowing down to his chest. His nickname was Einman. He was training the 4-year-old wizard so that he could take over after his death. The real sorcerers never reveal their identities. They have many abilities, but one of them is the ability to steal the life force of someone who is younger and use it to keep themselves young, alive, and strong. My grandmother, Adranea, used to do the same thing. The only reason that she died at 96 was that some of the bewitchment which she placed on me began to backfire on her when my deliverance began. When one seeks the assistance of a witch to afflict or bewitch another, Satan will use the spirit of the human who is requesting assistance to afflict the target. So, by the time a target is being delivered from witchcraft, the spirit of the one who bewitched the target will manifest in an attempt to resist being expelled from the body. During deliverance, spiritual fire burns the wicked and strips them of their power with excruciating pain. Sorcerers live in constant fear. They use nicknames to identify themselves. Now back to Satan's appearance. Satan appears in many forms. One of these forms is a beast. Each of Satan's heads looks like a goat with visible horns. When he would speak in this form, you could hear the voices of 7 men, each speaking in unison. When he was in the form of a beast, he would not wear clothing. His skin was like a pig's, but with leopard skin print. God punished him with that beast image as a representation of his fallen glory. While in this beast form, he had 1 body, 7 necks, 7 heads, and 10 horns. 3 of the heads had 2 horns, while the other heads had 1 each. The heads were in the shapes of goats, but every mouth was like the mouth of a lion with whiskers. His neck was long like a giraffe. He has a tail as well which curled. He appears in the form of a dragon during spiritual warfare. His image changes in accordance with his mission at the time. All this time, my uncle had no idea what I was talking about. He shouted at me saying, "You just left your parents in Jinja a week ago to visit us and you've been here for a week." I replied, "No, I just got here. I haven't seen my parents in years. Chameleon kidnapped me and took me to hell. I've been singing and making music with him." He had no idea what I was talking about. He said, "Erica, this is my wife whom you know very well. You were one of the maids at our wedding." I replied, "No, I have never been at your wedding and I've never seen your wife." He interrupted, "Erica, at least you know our baby boy and you should remember coming to visit us when we got him." I said, "No, uncle, you're not married. You went overseas. I was supposed to be your flower girl." I could remember everything up to the time I was abducted, but anything beyond that I could not remember. I only recall things that happened to my soul. I was soul conscious during my years of bondage. While most people who are not born again are not soul conscious of what is taking place in the spirit realm, but more body conscious as to what is taking place physically. The places your physical body goes to are just a reflection of the condition your soul is in. If your soul is in bondage, your physical body will reflect that bondage. But if your soul is prospering, your physical body will reflect that as well. 3 John 1-2, Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospers. Uncle asked his wife to bring their wedding photo album so that I could see myself and remember. When he showed me the photo, I screamed and wanted to run away. I said, "I know that girl. She is a ghost and she's very bad." They told me not to go near her. The devil is a terrible liar. He had deceived me that my body was an evil ghost, so I would never have the desire to rejoin my body and be a free, normal person again. I was in two places at the same time. My soul could leave hell on specific missions and go to the earth to perform in nightclubs and bars and send demons into those who I was entertaining while dancing. During these missions, my soul could interact with both the physical and spiritual realms. One time during a mission, my soul was in Jinja performing at an event, and my little brother saw me and ran back home where he had left me to show me someone who looked just like me. He said, "Erica, come see this girl who dances very well. She looks just like you." The bondage I was in at the time would not allow me to ask for deliverance. I was abducted at 11, initiated at 8 years of age. All I knew was bondage. I never knew there was a way out. The kingdom of darkness would tell us things which kept us in bondage. The things that kept us in bondage were just lies. John 8:44, you belong to your father the devil and you want to carry out your father's desire. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks his native tongue, for he is a liar and the father of lies. All these years, Satan had taken his time to brainwash me with lies. They would say that every person has a ghost and every person has an angel. According to them, the angels were dangerous because they would come and take away our people and the ghosts would fight us directly. Satan told me that the angels are weaker than us, but the ghosts are stronger. So it is better that you stay away from the ghosts, but you can fight an angel, both of which were lies. If you are loving this video, please hit both that subscribe and like button to help this message to spread far and wide. Check out the rest of the playlist 7 Years in Hell here on this YouTube channel. Thank you for supporting the Wake Up channel. God bless you.